Happy Thursday, everybody. It's the REKAP Lunch Hour with Guff, me, Ryan McGuffey, here in the REKAP studios. What's going on? NFL football is back. Look, I got my support my friends Cody's Bar. If you've been to Cody's Bar, one of the best places in the city. Dogs a palooza. You can bring dogs there. It's great. Figured beautiful day. Support my guys. That's a great courtyard out there at Cody's. It's the REKAP Lunch Hour, and it's all brought to you by our partners at Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. Order.hooters.com. Who's hungry? Have it delivered straight to your office door, straight to your house, wherever it might be. You can do it at order.hooters.com. You can also swing by your favorite establishment and pick it up if you'd like. Maybe the lunch specials. They're aplenty for you on the Hooters menu. All right, so the Cubs, for a night, they get much needed win over the Mets. A big outburst. Matthew Boyd looked good. The magic number for home field advantage is 2. The Padres do not play today. The Cubs play the Mets to end that series before the St. Louis Cardinals come to town for a final time this year. The Cubs can get that thing down to 1 and force the Padres' hands, where the Padres would have to sweep over the weekend. And I think that's kind of what you want. I think you want to make sure that you put it into their hands. And they're playing the Diamondbacks, who are also fighting for a wild card spot. If we look at the current standings right now in the wild card, Diamondbacks, who traded everybody away, are sitting a game back, just like the Reds of the Mets. So the Reds have had an opportunity to take the final wild card spot, the bull by the horn, so to speak. They've lost both games to the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're a game back. The Mets, who lost last night, are also still in the third spot because the Diamondbacks lost last night. So there you go. Cubs, Padres, Mets, your current wild card standings. And then you go to the American League and what the Cleveland Guardians have done to the Detroit Tigers. Wow. The Tigers have now lost 8 in a row. They are clinging to a wild card spot. The Houston Astros have lost 5 in a row, and the Mariners won the division title last night. The Mariners, what they've done, they just came on like, you know what, like a bat out of hell. They may finish with the best record in the National League when it's all said, or American League, when it's all said and done. Cal Raleigh hit his 60th home run last night. Kyle Schwarber hit his 56th. Aaron Judge hit 50 and 51. Like, what is going on? It's pretty cool to see. We haven't seen this in a long time. 4 players with 50 bombs or more. Let's get to the chat. Kyle, good afternoon. Cubs must have been listening to us yesterday. Huge victory with help from the Magic, from Milwaukee, the Magic number 2. Hope they make it 1 after today. Let's go Cubs. We have the array of aviators to celebrate another bet of the day win. By the way, that's coming up later in the program. One of the only victories I like better than beating St. Louis in baseball is beating the Mets. Love saying, take that, Mets. Hurts to see Schwarber and what he's doing in Philly. Does it really? He should be doing it with the Cubs. Once again, great call, Jed and Tom. It should never, it does. I love to see success from guys who are great people. Maybe he comes back maybe they make it right. Maybe they get him back. Best of luck against Cap in fantasy. His record really shows who the human bye week is. I appreciate that. Love you, Cap. 0-3 Cap taking on 2-1 Guff this week. I'm a little nervous. It's kind of like Ashton Genty not having a breakout game yet, and they're playing the Bears. I'm like, I don't need the one win of the year coming against me. Nice win for the Cubs, says Eric last night. Now let's get that magic number down to 1, get a win on Friday, and get home field. Find a way to win a damn baseball game. Kyle, crazy to see that a quarterback from the North has been Offensive Player of the Week so far this season. Hopefully that won't happen this week. Jordan Love in Dallas. Let's go Dallas. Bears better take care of business in Vegas on Sunday afternoon. Get to 2-2 before the bye week, plain and simple. And it changes the entire narrative of the Bears if they do. The catastrophic collapse against Minnesota, then the debacle in Detroit, and then the big win against the Cowboys. You can win against the Raiders, and all of a sudden you're back to kind of, I think we all kind of had them right around 2-2 at the bye anyway. Sometimes it doesn't matter how you get there. You just got to get there. See, Kyle had him after 2-2 after 4 games. So hopefully you don't want to take steps back and be at ground zero, because that's what could happen if you lose. What Cal Schwarber, Judge, and Ohtani have done is incredible. Would love to have any of them play in Wrigley. Too bad we're under the luxury tax on $9.25, and I know the Godfather's lurking. Godfather, it's $9.25, still under the luxury tax and still selling out Wrigley Field. Pablo, happy Thursday. I hope the entire REKAP fam is having a great week. What's up to the real Phil Sims? Nathan, Cubs with a playoff caliber win. Michael Bush doesn't get enough love in this chat, and that changes today. Good for you, Nathan. The first Cub with 30 home runs in a season since what? Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo? Is that, or Kyle Schwarber? Crazy. Good win last night. Definitely needed. Win tonight. Wrap that magic number, or that number, wrap up that number one wild card seed. Simple as that. But they still need, the magic number would still be 1 because the Padres don't play. Joining big time company with his 30th homer of the season. Last 10, he's hitting .265, 9 hits, 4 bombs, 6 RBI. Shaw, an unbelievable night as well. Breaking news, Jed, Carter, and Tommy are too cheap. Focus on 2025, not 2032. Swayze, what's up, Guff? I've got a bone to pick with the dudes in my fantasy group. They don't really seem to be all that interested. My group sucks. Hey, Swayze, then go out there and kick their ass and continue, because then it gets to the playoffs. Eventually, you're playing against all of our teams. So they'll just eliminate themselves. My son's his team is jacked. 3-0. He is focused. He's honing in on that 7,500. He is very motivated by it. What in the world is happening in Detroit? This collapse by the Tigers is worse than the chicken and beer Red Sox in 2011. Wow. Phil, just to put it in perspective, it's the worst of all time if it does in fact happen. I mean, it's happened. Can the Tigers, they're running out of time. They are running out of time. Cubs could have had home field wrapped up by now if they didn't sleepwalk for 5 straight games after clinching. Now it has to come down to the wire. Shaking my head. I understand. I think they have it, but I get it. Phil, last night the White Sox saw the potential Cy Young Award winner last night in Fried. Will definitely be a tough matchup tonight with Rodon. Blue Jays may choke as well. Yes, they might. Max Fried's not going to win the Cy Young. Who's the was looking at this the other day. It's definitely going to be, I still think it's going to be Tarek Skubal. I know just because the Tigers have collapsed. American League Cy Young winner, yeah, Tarek Skubal. And by the way, the next on the list would be Garrett Crochet. Cal Raleigh has now jumped Aaron Judge to be MVP. Wish I would have bet that a few weeks ago. I didn't see that coming. 60 home runs. He's now minus 200. Aaron Judge at plus 160. Damn right, Swayze. All they had to do was split in Cincinnati. Hell, win 1 game in Cincinnati. You think the Cubs could get back Jason McLeod? He would be a huge upgrade over Carter Hawkins. Just saying. There's a reason that he's no longer here. I'll just put it that way. Landon, the Guardians are playing out the movie Major League in real life. Harry Doyle would be proud. He would be. Safe to say, Guff, that this year there's no real dominant team and the playoffs are wide open. Who are your big favorites going into the World Series? Yeah, that's what makes the trade deadline so infuriating for the Cubs, is that they didn't go all in. Phillies are my pick right now out of the National League. And I really like the Mariners roster. I really do. Although I heard, I was looking up like sleeper teams in the American, like just overall, there's some value plays. There are some real value plays. Like I think the Red Sox, they have a good bullpen. They're at 18-1. They're pretty good. How about the Tigers all the way down to 20-1 now? The Guardians, probably not. I'm looking at the Red Sox to me are a value play at 18-1. Phillies are now the favorite to win the World Series. So there you go. Eric, you got the luxury tax thing correct. Good afternoon to all. There's the Godfather. Do you think the big dumper wrapped up AL MVP last night? Especially with the Mariners clinching the division. It happens. It's what happens when you make the moves and want to win. Thanks, shit. I do. It seems to me like yes. Congratulations to Jerry Reinsdorf on consecutive 100 lost seasons. Moves into the top spot in a city full of bad sports team owners. That's 3 consecutive 100 lost seasons for the White Sox. Never been done in the history of the franchise. Put a little tweet out there yesterday. Enough's enough. Like, yes, this one feels a little bit better moving forward, but there's got to be change. You can't keep accepting this. For the White Sox, won't change anytime soon. Guff, the top teams in the American League aren't concerned at all about the White Sox. Simple as that. Hey, Phil, tell me, we heard from a scout or another GM. What was another GM in the league? They want the Cubs as a matchup. I don't get off on like shitting on other Chicago sports teams when, quite frankly, what have the Cubs done? in the last 10 years. I mean, I'm being honest. The arrogance of the Cubs is, what do I say? Yankees arrogance with Cleveland Browns pennants. Godfather, with the pitching in the playoffs being the team's top starters, the Cubs are doomed. They can't hit bad starters. So what makes you think they'll hit the top 3 starters on playoff teams? Landon, did you hear that ESPN invented Matthew Bush to start game 1? I did. That's what happens when the national media comes in and takes over the locals. Anyone but Imanaga to start game 1. I'd start Boyd. He pitched and hit a home run. Chicago loves living on the edge for clinching any sort of victory. We'd never make it easy in this city. That is 100% fact. Absolutely. Swayze says, Kyle, tell me about it. That's why Chicago fans are so shell-shocked now. Becky, Cal Raleigh has not even like 60 homers. He has 60 home runs. It's incredible. Al, I still on a natural high for your Indiana Hoosiers. Tough game at Kinnick this week. Go Big Red. Just don't have a letdown game after that game. What a statement. Statement. Breck, Mariners were lucky to get the Rocks at the end of the season. You're not kidding. Yeah, that didn't work out well for the Houston Astros. The AL West champions are now the Seattle Mariners. I guess I put money on the wrong team. I took the Texas Rangers about a month or two ago. Looks like I guess I should have rode the Seattle Mariners. There's our guy Rick, proud member. You could be a member too. Aloha from Honolulu. The bullpen lost the first game and saved the second. Hopefully Palencia makes a positive difference. There's Clyde. Caleb Williams can't throw the deep ball. Caleb Williams, hold my beer. I believe Clyde threw that same comment in the chat earlier this week. Javi Baez in 2019 on the 30 home runs. Oh, 2018. See, I knew it's been a while. Wonder if Hoyer keeps a percentage of the savings that he keeps the Cubs under the luxury tax. Asking for a friend. Well done. Alan, welcome to the chat. Now more than ever, I wish we'd have traded Tucker for pitching early season. Unless he has a monster playoffs, he was a total bust. Trade Shaw in the offseason in a package for Skeens. Okay. Alan, calm down. Tucker was not a total bust. He was almost a 5-WAR player. He is supposed to play tonight tonight or tomorrow, I saw, as a DH. Get some ABs before the playoffs. Why would you trade Matt Shaw, who's trending up? Paul Skeens is not being traded to the Chicago Cubs, with all due respect. Why the hell would they trade Paul Skeens to the Chicago Cubs? Matt Shaw, by the way, a 3.2 WAR player. Pretty damn good for a rookie. Really good. Probably going to win the Gold Glove. And in the second half, he's hit 267, 325, a 534 slug, and 859 OPS. No. There's how you become a member. Yeah, that's not happening. They're not trading Paul Skeens. Nate, PCA getting home from second on a wild pitch is one of the most electric things he's done all year. Batting skid aside, Cubs can't afford to let this guy go with his fielding and base running ability. He's under contract or under control through 2031. He's not going anywhere. I love that he made a reference last night to Caleb Williams in his press conference. It was awesome. Cubs haven't done anything. Bye-bye, Tucker, and please trade Shaw for a stud pitcher. Okay, like robbing Peter, paying Paul. Okay. Hey, man, Guff came in at the right time to hear that description of the Cubs. What up, Jess? Shaw keeps trending up and looks to be your permanent third baseman for a long time. The package for Skeens is going to be crazy. It will be crazy. And I'd be stunned if it involved the Chicago baseball team. That's going to be a hot topic heading into the winter meetings for sure. Landon, tell me about it. John Gruden still calls him Alshon Jeffries. They just hit Paul Skeens not too long ago. They've hit him all year. Jess, I'm bitter with Jed and Ricketts doing nothing at the deadline. Hard to cheer them on when you know it'll be a wild card and out for the Cubs. Hope you're wrong. We all hope you're wrong. With Shaw's stock trending up, now is the time to move him. He's just scratching the surface of how good he's going to be. Omar, I'm glad I'm not a Sox fan. Weak team. The White Sox suck. Okay, you're allowed to say whatever you want here. You better be careful, Omar, when they come crawling for you. You haven't won anything. Nobody in this town's won anything. We're going to sit here. That's the second time we're crushing on the White Sox. Okay, fine. Not just the national pundits. John Fox forgot the names of his kicker and punter in press conferences. That is a fact. What's easy not to forget is how good Hooters is during lunchtime. Great lunch specials. OG wings, boneless wings, the hamburger. They got the Big Daddy mugs, the tender tacos, the Big Daddy mugs, Michelob Ultra, Bud Light, Oktoberfest from Sam Adams, and the Dos Equis, of course. Mango habanero, the sweet heat. That's where I like to do my tender tacos or my OG wings. The cinnamon pretzel bites are a great way to finish things off. OriginalHooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. We will be in Downers Grove, October 7th. Coming up quickly. Alex Brown will be there. Cap will be there. Tommy Waddle will be there. I'll be there. It'll be a blast. Come join us in Downers Grove, October 7th. And October 21st will be in Orland Park. So make your plans to be with us, our proud partner of the Recap and the Recap Lunch Hour, Hooters. We're fans. We're fans. What's up, Jess? My friend was at the Skeens game last night. That's pretty cool. Caleb Williams can't be the NFC Player of the Week. Caleb Williams, hold my beer. Clyde, gonna ride the hold my beer joke. Okay, that's fine by me. Yes, they did. Skeens is a beast. Will Justin Steele be out for the post? Yeah, he is out for the postseason, but he'll be back next year. I think that name's forgotten about a lot of times. So Justin, you're getting a pretty good pitcher back next season. Hopefully he's healthy. Getting excited for the Dublin game, Kyle. It's fun to see the festivities, knowing the Vikings will steamroll over us. Wow. Jess, playing devil. Wow. Yeah, 8:30 a.m. kickoff for all of you who like to scratch the itch or play your fantasy team. Ricketts can't afford Nutting's price tag, Guff. True. True. Omar, I will be big mistakes. Cubs trade. Yeah, it'll be a huge mistake if the Cubs trade Matt Shaw right now. Now, if you're telling me you can trade him to get Paul Skeens, that's a no-brainer. But they're not doing that. It's just not happening. How is it that Cubs fans want to dish players when they get hot, but also gripe when they ditch them, or kick and scream when they get rid of a beloved player that starts sucking? Cake and eat it too. Nathan's going to win the fan of the game. Yes. Dead on comment. I remember lots of these guys were begging to trade Nico in the preseason. Now Shaw, some fans can never be satisfied. Nico's been the MVP of the team. He is in contention for a batting title. I don't think he'll get there because Trey Turner's not going to play any of the regular, the final games, which makes it a little bit tougher. But when you look in the National League, Trey Turner 305, Nico 301. It's crazy that only two guys are hitting over 300 in the NL. And when you jump to the AL, there are 6. Aaron Judge hitting 328. Cal Raleigh, this is what's interesting. Aaron Judge is an 1136 OPS. Cal Raleigh 959. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Clyde, never forget about the region, my man. Never forget about the region. Wait, do we have a new? It looks like the real Phil Sims has joined the membership crowd. Thank you, Phil. Who is the clutchest sports player of all time outside of Jordan? Patrick Kane? Patrick Kane's the first player that comes to mind for me. Steele's hurt every year. I would trade him. Okay, let's trade him for pennies on the dollar because everyone else knows too. As a Cubs and just baseball fan in general, today I check off another list on my bucket list as I will be taking in the White Sox at Yankees. Good for you, LC. Very cool. Very cool. Like I said, you join us October 7th at Hooters in Downers Grove. Ryan, welcome to the chat. Cubs wouldn't be in the playoffs if it weren't for Tucker's first half. There's somebody who gets it. Somebody who gets it. Second verse, same as the first. Opening day, hot dog and beer, $60. Last series of the year, hot dog and beer, $60. Eric, what time will you be at Hooters? The show's live at 8 p.m. We will be there early and set up. I'd say we'd be there by certainly getting ready by 6 and ready to go 7:30. So we'll be there. Phil, like I said, Phil, the real Phil Sims, has become a new YouTube member, and we appreciate Phil and all of you who already have, and we're looking forward. I'm just about to upload some we had one of our friends, the CEO from Pause for Patrick, who are a great sponsor, partner with us, and we partner with them as their media sponsor. What they do for dogs and therapy dogs for mental health is absolutely incredible. It's very near and dear to my heart. And Pause for Patrick will be teaming up with us for the ongoing future and the foreseeable future for a long time. But our buddy Darren, who's the CEO, is a Packer fan. So we got into a big Jordan Love debate yesterday. I'm going to post that to the members only side of the chat about 10. It's kind of behind the scenes. It happened. That's the conversations that happen here during lunch. So I'm going to post that. We are also going to start a Dog of the Day feature here on the channel, brought to you by Pause for Patrick. And I'm looking forward to that. Kyle, which team are you thinking of going to win tonight? It's Thursday night. Bet of the day. Ooh, bet of the day is coming, and it might be NFL related. Twitter is ablaze with bad news about Cade Horton's MRI. Uh-oh. That would be devastating, folks. Thank you for the update there, Terry. Let's see what we got here. Let's get Cade Horton. If that's the news, that's bad. Cade Horton's MRI. Not optimistic. Hearing there's a chance he is shut down for the year. Oh, boy. Well, folks, if that's the case, Mock Bomb. I don't know who Mock Bomb is, but this is not good news. We'll have to wait and see, folks. If he's shut down, the Cubs' shots are shut down, in my opinion, too. Justin Steele's hurt. Welcome to the membership, as Kyle says. Great to have you. Omar, I hope Cubs don't trade Moises Ballesteros. That kid can hit the ball, stud player. I don't think they will, because they could have traded him at the deadline for other studs, and they didn't. Nico should hit leadoff. Welcome to the chat, Cody. In the wild card series, followed by Happ and Matthew Bush. Funny how we crapped on Ian Happ for so much of the first half of the year on this show. It's also Michael Bush, not Matthew Bush. So I want to make sure that we're all on the same page there. Ian Happ has been a phenomenal player in the second half. Welcome to the real Phil Simms. Look at everybody, even us. Kyle Hendricks was clutch, but Patrick Kane, guys, come on. He's one of the best players in the history of the sport, too. That's what we're learning. Playoff John Lester is Chicago's most clutch athlete since Jordan. Disagree. I mean, what about playoff Paul Konerko? Grand Slam. People forget that the White Sox won a World Series around here. People forget. John Lester was clutch, though. My answer, I'm going to keep it, Patrick Kane. Did we forget about the goal that he buried in the back of the net to win the Stanley Cup in Philadelphia? If it's cheap and keeps him under the luxury tax, Ricketts gives the okay. Wasn't just Tucker, PCA, and Suzuki they did, and they've been horrific in the second half. KO says, to me, Kyle Hendricks was clutch. Game 6 against the Dodgers, a clutch dependent. Game 7 in the World Series. Also can't forget about the series against the Nationals. No doubt about that. I hear you. Clutch Kyle. You are welcome. Yes. Agreed. Hey, Godfather, I want to keep the door open to Joliet as well. I do. I don't make the rule. I don't send us where we go. I just listen to where they send us. Ben Sobers. That was one at bat. We're talking about all time here. Becky, a little Cracker Barrel yesterday. Guardians lost the best closer in the world and are now setting the baseball world on fire. Anything can happen in the playoffs. They lost multiple players to a betting ring, and they look at them. Speaking of betting, seems like a nice transition, doesn't it? Let's do it. Let's go with the Dirk Digglers today. We're feeling pretty strong at 13-4. Yeah, we're gonna go Dirk Digglers. We're gonna do it. Boogie Nights. Oh yeah. This is what happens when you have a 13-4 run like we do here in September. You guys asked about which bet where I'm going tonight. I am going NFL, where we're 5-1 since September 1st. Cooper Kupp, who has more targets, more catches, more yards, and more touchdowns against the Arizona Cardinals than any team in his career. And tonight I can get 40+ receiving yards at -130, and so I'm going to. And I'll probably ladder it up a little bit to in the 50-60 range so I can get some of that plus money. But the Cubs winning last night at -120, easy does it. That was as easy of a cash as we've had on this show in quite some time. So we go to 13-4 on the year to date here in September. You see the numbers when we go to college football and NFL football, college back at it tonight too. We are going Cooper Kupp, 40 or more receiving yards. The Dirk Digglers are feeling strong. Let's ride, Kyle. Let's ride. LC says Jesse has confirmed the injury news doesn't sound good for Cade Horton. Whew. Again, if that's the key, and if that's the case, that's why you go all in at the deadline. And Landon, I know. They don't look good on you anyways. Kiss my ass, Landon. These were brought in from Breck Bear. He sent a couple of pair. Are they the straightest glasses I've ever received? No. Because they don't look good on me, Landon. Sorry, you got to. Now I'm really bitter. Thanks, Jed, for nothing. I should probably take the glasses off because of the bitter news that we're getting about Cade Horton here. Omar, I don't see Kyle Tucker coming back to the Cubs next year. I think you're not the only one. Looking here, I'm looking for Jesse Rogers. It's not good, folks. So much for debating on who is going to start game one, because it's not going to be Cade Horton. It wouldn't be Cade Horton if that's the case. My goodness. So stay tuned to that news. We'll have the recap rush hour later with the official news. I don't want Tucker back at all, says Alan. I think you're nuts. Not official yet, but it looks to be a bulging disc in his lower back. At least the White Sox have hope with Ishbia. 2029 can't come soon enough. Talk about the White Sox all day long. Happily. I'd like to see them get to 60 wins. Jed Hoyer needs to be fired, says Alan. This is awesome. Went from a cough to a season-ending injury. Talk about the White Sox. I am. Why can't we have nice things? Like we get to a playoff berth, and then that's it. Catman is going to the airport, Edgar, later tonight. He will be here later. Him and I have a few things to tape still. Don't forget to get your tickets tomorrow at noon for that little game on November 15th. For those of you who want to go to the best rivalry in the country, small college football, but it don't mean a damn thing. Because on November 15th, we hate them, they hate us, and that's never changed. Come on down. Polar Ferris Bueller with the glasses. You know, I could go with the black. I don't like that Landon said I don't look good at him. Landon, you've just moved down the list. These look like, here. We're rolling along here. What about Danks? Once again, Ricketts going cheap at the deadline is going to ruin this team. Needed number 2 starter, instead got Soroka cheap. And now Soroka's probably going to be pitching if Cade Horton's out. Package match. I don't know why you think Matt Shaw is bringing you Paul Skeens. You think that they're going to trade Paul Skeens for Matt Shaw and a bunch of Get off my lawn. No chance. All right, there's the bet of the day. Cooper Kupp, 40 or more receiving yards. You look at the record, folks. If you're playing every day with me, your account should look very nice. And hopefully so nice that you've been able to withdraw and pay yourself a little bit along the way. Because you're 13-4. And those don't come around often. Risky Business is one of my favorite movies of all time. Just saying. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Another beautiful day here in the city of Chicago. We have a Friday fun day tomorrow. We're looking forward to that here on the Recap Lunch Hour with Guff. Be ready to rock, previewing the Bears, picking the Bears and Raiders games. Let's do our picks tomorrow. We'll have updated news on Cade Horton throughout the day here on the channel. Remember the lunch hour every day at 12:30. We give the picks. We have the recap rush hour every day at 4. I will be doing the Cubs and White Sox recaps tonight. So if you don't like that, too damn bad. Cap will be on a plane, so we got you covered. I have the Cubs and the White Sox tonight coming to you here on the channel. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Go to Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. Order.hooters.com. Pick it up. Have it delivered. Any way you like it, you could do it very easily at order.hooters.com. We'll see you tomorrow. Go Cubs. Go White Sox. Get a flipping win in the Bronx, will you? Let's go. Have a great day. Take that.